In this video, we are going to understand how to solve debugging problems that we face while developing JavaScript applications, especially when we develop Vue.js applications and we need to debug some code. And as soon as we write these debugger statements, let me reproduce the situation that normally people face. Okay, so in this, let me show you what happens. So most of you would be facing this problem that despite of using debugger statement, we are not able to see our source code properly, right? So let me just make it big so that you guys will also see. So as you can see, the code we are seeing is not the code that we have written. This is the transpiled code, and from this we cannot figure out anything, right? So this is a really big problem, and I also faced this problem very much while developing projects. I had to use debugger for debugging purposes, but I was unable to debug anything from the dev tools. Okay, because as you can see, the code gets transpiled and gets showed to the user. So how the user can going to interact with the code, with the methods, with the data, and etc. So what is the solution to this problem? I searched about this problem, troubleshooted various steps, and so after 2 days I tried this section in the code. Let me show you the code. So in this is the config.js file. Most of you would be having this config.js file. This is Vue config file, and the problem arises due to this property being set to this value, that is source map. Okay, for the sake of showing you guys, let me just remove this property and just refresh everything and run this project again, and let me show you how the problem gets solved, how we are going to now actually debug our applications. Let it compile and build. Let me go to our application and let us reload the application. As you can see, what just happened is now we are actually seeing our code as it is written without getting transpiled. Now I can navigate and see the flow of the code with the data section, everything, right? So I can just hover over any variable, inspect it, check its state, the flow. Yes, as you can see how I can just debug my application logic, right? So how it worked, and by removing the comment, what would be the, so let me explain you a bit how it happened. So it's a dev tool property that is set in configure webpack option. It is set inside this, right? So this property, what is, let us understand what is dev tool property inside configure webpack option. This option controls if how source maps are generated. As you can see, this is the mapping. This is the source mapping. This entire process is called as source mapping. Okay, whatever our source is getting mapped here. Okay, because webpack, there is a webpack here, it transpiles everything actually, right? And gives us a single index file, and we have this JS compiled file. This code is compiled, transpiled, as you can see, into JS. The whole Vue.js application gets compiled, so we can configure our webpack, right, in the project with various options. So similarly, we have this property, that is dev tool property, for debugging purposes. We have this property. So let us understand. Now this table shows us the various options that we have. So like we can set it the value to eval, what happens here is it's the recommended choice for development build with max performance, right? With the production it is suggested no. Now normally source map is used in various projects. This is recommended choice for production build with high quality source map, but what is the problem is that the source mapping gets done after getting transpiled, so we don't want that. So what is the option for that? Let us see. As you can see, source code not included, right? Let us scroll down and see. So as you can see here, section development section, there is a eval section. Each module is executed pretty fast. Main disadvantage, does not display line numbers, and since it gets mapped to transpiled code as it was in the earlier situation instead of the earlier code, right? No source map from others. So this property is not going to work for us. Let us check out this property, eval source map. Each module executed with this, and so we added. It is slow, but it provides a rebuild speed. Line numbers also mapped since it gets mapped to original code. So this yields the best quality. So this option is going to fix our problem. Okay, and we have two other options here. You can read this and understand and apply it according to your requirements. Let us try this eval source map option in our project. So let us change this to eval source map. Okay, now whenever we are going to change anything in config file, we have to restart our server to build to get compiled, okay, to have the compile process run again. That is a requirement. So let it rebuild again. Okay, let us check it out in the browser. So I'm going to hit refresh and let us see what happens. So as you can see, it has successfully mapped, the source code has been mapped to the original code, not the transpiled code, right? This is what we wanted. So this is the solution to the problem that most developers face during developing and using debugging. Now for production builds, what you can do is, because this is a very slow process, so for production purposes what we can do is we can use the environment, node environment, right, to check if it's production, then we set it to off. This property is going to be off, or else our property is going to. So this is the proper configuration for projects. Okay, so that's it for this video. I just wanted to share whatever I have learned from this troubleshooting, and you guys are going to get help from this video and going to save some time in troubleshooting. Instead, just try the solution. Definitely this is going to work and you are going to be able to debug applications perfectly. Thank you very much.